back to my channel. I am Veronica, if you guys don't know who I am. I mostly do vlogs, and I've seen quite a lot of requests about showing all my paintings. I do a lot of painting videos, but I don't really show about what I did. So this is all the paintings that I did before uni and throughout. So I'm in my second year. Actually, I finished my second year, so that is that. So for my school, my very first year is a foundation year, which is that nobody really has a major on the very first year. Jerry, stop eating grass. My dog's eating grass. Yeah. Anyway. So basically, we don't really have a major on the very first year. So I didn't do a lot of painting, but I do have some paintings from the very first year. I didn't have any sort of painting skills. I just did whatever the profs might like, and I guess it did the job. So the very first year, I did not have a major. And starting from the second year, I did a lot of painting classes. So that's when I started to learn painting officially. And I never did canvas painting in my life before. I mostly did watercolor, but I knew that I hated watercolor, so I never really touched it. But yeah, I started with acrylic, and acrylic did quite well. So I'm going to show you my paintings in chronological order. So it's going to start from the very oldest to the very newest. The oldest one I have in my hand right now is one that I used for my portfolio to get into my current school. So I'm going to start from that to what I am now. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. So my very first paintings are portraits of my cats. Yes. I own 3 cats, and I wanted to make a caricature of my cats in a portrait, in like a very impressionistic kind of portrait, but I didn't know how to do impressionism back then, so this is what I got. So basically, these paintings were done for my portfolio for entering my school, and I wanted to show my painterly skills. I actually uploaded many different artworks, including photography, like sewn garments, many different things. And I didn't have a painting, so I made a painting, and this was the only thing that came to my mind. So this is what I did. I used to hate it, but now that I look at it, I think it's kind of cute. I think I'm going to put this up somewhere in my wall. Not my wall, maybe in the kitchen or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm talking about right now, but this is what I started with. This is what got me into art school. And I gotta say, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, because I never finished a single painting in my life before. I did one, but that was from grade school. And it's kind of interesting to see how far I've come. And yeah, this was before uni. So this was before uni, and now I'm going to go into what I got on the very first year of school. So this painting is something that I did on my first year, and I hated it. I still do. I know. It's a bit embarrassing for me. At least for me, I didn't like the idea at the first. I just did it because I thought the prof would like it, and I didn't want to show you this. I'm not trying to like bribe you guys into art school. I don't want to be like, oh, I was so good overnight. No, that's not it. This is one of the artworks that I'm ashamed of. This came from a class that was interdisciplinary, so like it wasn't meant to be a painting class. It was something more of a design-based class, to be honest. The professor was a design-based professor, but yeah, I thought she might like this, so I made this. And I wanted to throw this away, but I thought that this would be kind of important to show you guys, because you just don't get skills overnight. This is what happened to me on the very first year. I have another painting that's similar to this, that's a variation of this, but I just couldn't find it, so forgive me. I just couldn't find it. I have lots of paintings at home, and I don't know where many of them go. Yes, that is it for this painting. Now, this painting is kind of sticky. This is a Grisaille painting, so it's a little bit sticky because I used acrylic medium and I used a gloss medium, and I guess if you layer on too many gloss, it gets sticky. So how you do a Grisaille painting is quite simple in a way. So basically in Grisaille, you would start with a grayscale painting with all the values. So after you finish your grayscale, you would then go on with thin layers of paint. So basically you would mix a little bit of paint and a little bit of medium. So for me, I use an acrylic medium. And yeah, this turned out okay, but I never really liked the pattern in the middle. So the pattern was a very last minute choice I made because my teapot didn't have any patterns and my teapot looked really sad. So basically what I did is I added this plaid pattern, and yeah, layered on these thin layers of paint. So it's very sticky and glossy. Overall, I don't like this one. This one has a lot of errors. I just do not want to look at this anymore. Oh, I have the date behind here. It's September 26, 2021. So it hasn't been even a year since I did this. Yes, so this is the very first painting of my second year. I started my first year with this painting, actually. So this is a study of a crumpled paper. That was the very first assignment that we had, and that other painting was the very first project. So normally in art school you would define assignments and projects differently. So for assignments, they're a lot shorter. They can be usually finished within a week, or even when I say week, it's just a few hours of that week. So they're usually due the next week or even the day of. And so it's usually quicker things. And this is what I have here. And this one I can't say I am very proud of either, because I struggled quite a lot with it, because our instructor told us to only use a single color. So we were limited with the color to even add value. So I kind of failed in that sort of sense. A lot of my classmates told me this looks like a glacier instead of a crumpled paper, which I do agree. But I did my best, and this is what I got. I'm a little bit embarrassed to show this to you guys. This was my second year, remember, first class. Now we have my very first nude painting. I did show this in my vlogs from December-ish. I don't know. It was from this fall semester of 2021. So, this was my very first nude painting in my life. I've never seen a professionally naked man before. So, yes. This is awkward. I think this was a 10-minute or 15-minute study. I'm not quite sure, actually. It may have been, I think it's about 25 minutes long. And I used acrylic paint for this. And the dimension, I believe, is 20 by 18? I don't know. I do not know. Yes, and this was my very first nude painting on canvas. I do have some on my canvas paper, but I just don't know where it went. Like I said before, I have so many paintings and so many artworks in my home. I just don't know where things go because I'm not a very organized person. And yes, this is my very first nude painting, which I gotta say I kind of like. I'm very proud of this one, at least. So for this one's a female body. Okay, so it's written here that this is a 45-minute study. So I did this for 45 minutes. And as you can tell from the previous painting, this has a little bit more of details onto it, like the hair and the shadows of the nose and everything else. Yeah, this was another live model study that I did in class. This was most likely... This is why I don't like filming outside. There's so many things that you cannot... Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna just put my mic closer to my neck, so hopefully you guys hear me and not those weird noises and the wind. But yes, this is my second nude painting that I did. Not my second. I have many more of this lady as well, but in canvas paper. I don't know where it went. They're all in the same roll, I believe. I rolled it up together and put it somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. I'm very sorry. I do kind of wish I showed you guys all of it, but for today I'm only showing the ones on canvas, on stretched canvas. Okay, now this one, I had 4 of these, but I just sewed the other 2 because there's too many naked men. So this is a reductive painting. So basically what you do in a reductive painting is you would put a layer of paint on, which is usually oil paint because you can't really do it with acrylic. So this is oil. You would put on a layer of oil paint, a thin layer of oil paint mixed in with just mineral spirit or other mediums if you wish. And you would get a rag or a dry or wet paintbrush. Jesus Christ. Yes, a wet paintbrush, and you kind of remove the layers to create value. And this is one of the paintings that I did. And yeah, this man is holding a pole. Yes. And there's this other one where it's the same man just lying on the, I don't know what it's called. So this is just another study painting that I did in class. And yeah, just another live model. We did a lot of nudes on my second year. So this is my very first big project that I jumped into on my second year in my painting class. And this was a self-portrait of myself, of course. It's called a self-portrait. So this is basically a self-portrait in clown makeup. So our instructor very specifically told us to put clown makeup so that we can learn how to put layers of our own skin tone, but also when we put some sort of makeup on top of our face. I first started with a painting of myself with just normal skin tone, and then I kind of glazed on top of my face to create this makeup look. And again, this was all done in acrylic. I don't really like how there is shine on this, but other than that, for my very first big painting, I am quite proud of it. I'm sure 20 years from now I'll be like, that's trash. But I think this was my first time painting, and I wasn't sure how well I was doing in class, and I was quite happy with what turned out because I redid this painting twice. Yes. So I made a sketch, started painting, and then had to redo it. I'll link down the original video of the vlog that I did. I was so devastated when I started this. This took me, I thought this was due in a week or so during that time, but it was actually due on that week. I don't know, it was confusing. But basically I did it in time, a lot better than I anticipated. And yes, I did get a pretty good grade for it. So I'm very happy how this turned out. So this guy over here, she's a collage. So basically throughout my second year, we all had some sort of theme going on every single project that we had. So for the very first project, it was a Grisaille, and then it was the clown painting, which kind of uses the form of Grisaille and all that. And then this one was just collage, and we were limited to 2 colors, which was also 2 colors. 2 shades. It was black and white, as you can tell. I used acrylic paint and a little bit of oil pastel. I asked the instructor if I could use oil pastel, and he said yes. So I used oil pastel. I got a bunch of different National Geographic maps that I had. I think my dad collected this for a while, and then I just used it for my collage. So I ripped it up, and I used some other kind of elements that I found in the house and slapped up this painting. So this painting actually has a personal touch to it. I wanted to talk about the idea of distance and home. And for me, home is kind of a very arbitrary term because I moved around a lot as a kid, and I just wanted to sort of inform the viewers in a very vague way. So you could say this is just a collage, but for me this was pretty personal. I've actually put some house elements and some nature elements that I experienced through my life. So yeah, this painting was actually kind of special for me. And this was the last project from my fall semester. So I ended this fall semester with this painting, and honestly, I kind of liked it. Yes. Another study, and this was from the spring of my second year. So this is a still life study, and it's basically a little bottle, a candle, and a milk frothing, what's it called? I don't even know what they're called. Just put an image over there. Yeah, I wanted to do a lot of reflection and a lot of lights. So the candle holder was glass, and the little jar was also glass, and the milk frothing thingy was metal. So basically it was quite reflective and really fun to work with. And a lot of artists, painters especially, love to do reflections because it's just so much fun. It's really lots of fun. Once you add those reflections on, baby, it's beautiful. Okay, so this is a study of a chair. Yes, so basically we did this in multiple different steps and stages. So we started with live sketches of whatever we want, and then from that sketch we did a tremblay. I think that's what it calls. They're all in French, so I don't really remember what they're called. I think this is called a tremblay painting or something like that. We did this in order to study the shadows and how light and colors change in different shadows. How light changes colors and how much value it adds and all that. Yeah. I honestly think it looks kind of bad. I thought I did pretty good at the time, but now that I look at it, it's not that great. It looks pretty flat. I'm not going to show this too much. And this is another live painting / sketch from the spring. And this was done with charcoal and oil paint. We incorporated drawing and painting together and kind of mixed medias. I'm gonna be honest, I like certain parts of it, but I don't like the whole painting. So this was just a study. I think we did this in like an hour. I think I could have done more within an hour. I was trying to fix my proportions, especially with the legs, multiple times. So I don't know what else to say. Like, this is like a pretty basic painting. I'm not sure if it's basic, actually. Never mind. Yeah, that's it. And this is my very first project, I think, from that class. I'm not sure if I'm going in proper order, to be honest, because I don't really remember how it went. But this is one of the finished paintings that I worked on. And this is a self-portrait and we were instructed to do a self-portrait that was sort of in a non-conventional way. So when it comes to non-conventional ways, it means I thought of adding lines and borders into some parts of my painting. So I started with my very first layer with a pink acrylic. This took me about a week to finish, I think. Wait, no, it might have taken me 2 weeks. I don't quite remember. This was my very first finished oil painting. So I only did studies before this. So this was my very first time handling oil and in this kind of color mixing way. So it was a bit nerve-wracking because it reacted very differently from acrylic. And I had to learn quite a lot. And I do know that some parts are a little bit botchy and all that, but I think I did pretty good for my very first oil painting. Not gonna lie. And after this, I worked on my very last project, which I made a paint with me video of. So this is my very recent painting from the school semester, and this is by far the biggest painting I've worked on. I think this is by 30 by 40. Yes, this is 30 by 40. It started from not knowing how to use oil to this. And I want to say really thank you to my instructor or instructors, I could say. Especially from the second semester, I learned so much from my instructor, and I just love her so much. She's such a great instructor. She's an awesome painter as well. If you want to search her up, her name's Lacey Jane Wilburn. Yes, Lacey Jane Wilburn. So you can find her art in her website and all that. She's so good. She does mural arts. She does so many things that's awesome, and she's like my idol. She's so freaking cool. And she gave me so many good advice that I think I will carry on throughout my art career. And I feel like this painting really did reflect on how much I really cared about that class. It was amazing because I was in school finishing this painting up one day, and I met her, I think it was on the day of her class, on the last day of class. And I stayed in school from the morning till 10 or 11 p.m. And in the middle of the night, while I was working on it, Lacey came up to me and she checked up on my artwork, and she was so genuinely invested in what I was doing. She really cared. She really cared about what I did, and she really cared about the art I make. And she gave me really good advice, even to that point. She had no obligations to give me advice during that hour, and I really appreciated her. And I don't think I would have done so much without her help last semester. One of the things that she talked about was that the human eye, there's 2 eyes, but people only focus on one eye. So she was talking about how I should focus on this eye over this one or something like that. And it's those tips that really matter for me. And it's those tips that really make the difference. And I'm really happy that I took her class last semester. It was so nice. And I'm really proud of where I went with this. I do wish I could have done some things a little bit better, like the placement of the polka dots. If you haven't noticed, the placement of the polka dots is a little bit wonky. And I do want to saturate a little bit more on whatever that's in her body. So yeah, this painting is called Eat Me. Yes. And this was originally done in collage, and then from that collage I enlarged it into a painting. So this is what I did, and this took me 3 weeks to finish. I don't know how many in hours. I usually count my hours, but I lost midway because this painting took me a long time to finish, a very long time. So I just want to say thank you for watching my video today. I honestly don't know how my audio turned out or the video. To be honest, it's really difficult to check outdoors. I hope you guys really liked this video. It's a little bit different from what I usually do, but I wanted to spice things up on my channel and kind of explore with a little bit of editing and a little bit of filming. I always just film vlogs, and I just thought I wanted to do something a little bit more creative than that. And I knew that you guys wanted to see my paintings and how much I grew throughout the years. I know that many people say that, oh my gosh, you're so talented, but really it comes from practice, and sometimes people are born with talent. But to earn and maintain that talent, you really have to practice all the time. And for me, this is all the paintings that I worked on throughout the years, and it got me to where I am today. And I'm very somewhat proud of what I've done, but also very thankful for all the instructors, and especially for all the love that I received from you guys. It's such a blessing to have you guys. I just want to say thank you so much, and thank you for 12K. I never imagined myself to be having as many followers today. I'm just very grateful. I hope you guys liked the video again. If you have any thoughts or even comments about the current video that I made, or what you guys think about the new sort of, I guess, scripted format, a somewhat scripted format, because I had an intro that I don't usually do. So hopefully you like the paintings. I'll see you guys soon on the next one. Bye.